Book 3, Stage 5, Lesson 72. Remind, in other words, member. Remind, in other words, member. The difference between the words remember and remind is that I remember something myself without help, whereas if I forget something, somebody reminds me of it. In other words, they remember it for me. So, what's the difference between the words remember and remind? What's the difference between the words remember and remind?
The difference between the words remember and remind is that if I remember something, if
you remember it yourself.
If I remember it myself without help, whereas if I forget something, somebody reminds me of it. In other words, they remember for me.
Very good. So if you forget the meaning of the word during the lesson, who reminds you of it? If you forget the meaning of the word during the lesson, who reminds you of it?
If I forget the meaning of a word during the lesson, the teacher reminds me of it.
Very good. If you have an important appointment to keep, which member of your family reminds you to keep it? If you have an important appointment to keep, which member of your family reminds you to keep it?
If I have an important appointment to keep, my brother reminds me of it.
Do I or anyone in this room remind you of any member of your family? In other words, does anyone here look like any member of your family?
Yes, you remind me of my cousin.
Okay, I thought you were going to say mother. Okay, even though, not even, keep an appointment, born to be born. Even though, not even, keep an appointment, born to be born. Would you keep an appointment even though you had to walk through heavy rain in order to do so? Would you keep an appointment even though you had to walk through heavy rain in order to do so?
Yes, I'd keep an appointment even though I had to walk through heavy rain in order to do so.
If you were very hungry, would you even eat bad food? If you were very hungry, would you even eat bad food?
Yes, if I were very hungry, I would even eat bad food.
Will there be even more people and more cars in the world in a few years' time? Will there be even more people and more cars in the world in a few years' time?
Yes, there will be even more people and more cars in the world in a few years' time.
Do you ever stop and think that even as we're sitting here at this moment, there's somebody dying somewhere in the world, somebody being born, somebody being killed in an accident, somebody being murdered, and somebody being married? Do you ever stop and think that even as we're sitting here at this moment, there's somebody dying somewhere in the world, somebody being born, somebody being killed in an accident, somebody being murdered, and somebody being married?
Yes, I sometimes stop and think that even as we are sitting here at this moment, there is somebody dying somewhere in the world, somebody being born, somebody being killed in an accident, somebody being murdered, and somebody being married.
Very good. Why?
Because I'm interested in what is happening to other people.
Do you know of a house or even a village where they haven't even got water or electricity? Do you know of a house or even a village where they haven't even got water or electricity?
Yes, I know of a house or a village where they haven't even got electricity.
Oh, very good. Where is it?
It's in Patio Bonito.
Okay. To, at, direction. To, at, direction. The difference between the words to and at is that we generally use to when we are moving in the direction of something or somewhere, and at when we are there. For example, I'm going to the table. Now I'm at the table or standing at the table. right? So, what's the difference between the words to and at? What's the difference between the words to and at?
The difference between the words to and at is that we generally use to when we are moving in the direction of something or somewhere, and at when we are there.
Very good. Can you give me an example, please?
I'm going to school. And I'm at the school.
Very good. Are you coming to the school? Are you coming to the school?
No, I'm not coming to the school, but I'm at the school.
Very good. Are you going to the window? Are you going to the window?
No, I'm not going to a window, but I'm sitting at the table.
Soon, at once. Soon, at once. If I go out of the room and say, I'll be back soon, how long shall I be? If I go out of the room and say, I'll be back soon, how long shall I be?
If you go out of the room and say, I'll be back soon, you'll be perhaps 5 or 10 minutes.
Very good. And if I go out of the room and say, I'll be back at once, how long shall I be? If I go out of the room and say, I'll be back at once, how long shall I be?
If you go out of the room and say, I'll be back at once, you will be about 1 minute, or you'll be back in a very short time.
Will it soon be spring? Will it soon be spring?
Yes, it'll soon be spring.
Will the lesson soon be finished? Will the lesson soon be finished?
Yes, the lesson soon will be finished.
How soon do you think it will be before everybody in the world has enough money in order to live a comfortable life? How soon do you think it will be before everybody in the world has enough money in the world in order to live a comfortable life?
I think it'll be about 500 years before everybody in the world has enough money in the world to live a comfortable life.
Which would get you home sooner, a bus or a car? Which would get you home sooner, a bus or a car?
I think perhaps a car would get me home sooner than a bus.
Very good. End of lesson 72.